Just let me see if I can get this right. So it goes show pants, then it goes bloomers and chemise, then it goes corset, then it goes bum roll, then it goes petticoat, then it goes underskirt, then it goes overskirt, then it goes fichu, and then you're finished.
Even if you're thinking about costume, you definitely design a world in which you fill with people. The action of the play is sort of through the night. The whole premise of the plot also is that it has to be in the middle of nowhere, you know, somewhere it's difficult to get to. So there's a whiff of the inbreed about it.
We play cousins, and we're both from a family that's landed gentry. Also, Tony and Constance run in different circles within that, because even though they're both from that family, Tony enjoys hanging out at the pub.
I kind of fight it, I push it away.
He pushes it away.
I just like going down to the pub with my mates.
And I'm desperate to be in London.
It's not often you get the chance to do, as it were, sort of 18th century frock shows. I always used to draw costumes because I think it's a working out process, because in a way you're thinking on paper. Each line eventually will start to make sense of a bit of this and a bit of that, and buttons and braid, and so you start to assess what the character's style might be.
David does a very good dirty man.
We actually started his costume in a fashionable mode, because why shouldn't he have clothes that are reasonably made at the best tailor that the local town will provide? So then what you do is you just distress it so that he doesn't care about those clothes. So it's got marks and stains, and his shirt's filthy, and he's a slob.
Before the show, I've got like a little makeup pot of brown. I just run my fingers through it and rub it all over my hands, and then I just do this once.
For a show like this, the first fitting, certainly for the women, is their undergarments, because they're all in corsets.
This is a whole dress on top of the corset, so it doesn't really show you how small my waist is right now, which is about that big, because that's the style of the corsets. But when you first put it on, when you come in the morning, it takes quite a while to get used to it, because it squashes some of your organs that way and some of your organs that way. But then after a few minutes of breathing, and the boobies up.
Even though it feels incredibly tight and restricting, it makes you stand differently, and so you actually start to behave in a more 18th century way.
I like to feel authentic, so I think the tightness of it, you know, helps with the stuff and the acting, and yeah, I think I do. And as well, how can you wear a beautiful dress like this if it's not hanging on the right shape?
There's a touch of exotic about her. She's got little Indian bells around the dress.
You can hear her coming from a mile off. She rattles. Jingles.
This is a much more modern sleeve as well, because the modern girls weren't having like an outer overcut.
I start about 15 minutes before the show goes up, and that'll be after we've warmed up. Everybody has a dresser on the show who looks after them and gets them dressed and helps them, because it's a bit complicated. I look like a Disney princess. There's nothing bad about that. I'm not ashamed to say I love my costume.